What's up, everyone? Welcome back to a video. It's been a while since I've made one of these videos. I wanted to make this video before the school year because I felt that this was a really good time to reflect. I go back into the building next week, and then the week after, 2 more weeks away, I guess I'm going to have students back for the school year. And I'm really excited about the school year. I'm really excited about all the classes I'll be teaching and all the amazing things that we'll be doing in class. Thinking about that, it's had me reflecting on my last school year because when I left last school year, I felt very tired, but I just felt very exhausted. And one of those things that I felt very defeated about was how I felt about my relationships with my students and the relationships I made with my students' families. You see, in the past school years, I had done a really good job about that. I had done a lot of work about maintaining those relationships with students. In fact, one of the reasons why I made this channel was a way for me to connect with students and for students to learn how to connect with their teachers. So leaving last school year, feeling like I didn't get to do that made me feel like, in a sense, like I kind of failed in a bit. Reflecting about that over the summer, I realized that it's okay to kind of just detach every once in a while. I don't have to feel like every year is going to be a home run or anything like that. And I think that making that realization made me realize that it's okay if I'm not making the deep, long lasting relationships with every single one of my students that I always strive to do. Not to say I didn't have good relationships with a lot of my students. I just didn't feel like I had anything that was going to be really long lasting that I have with a lot of my former students who are graduating college at this point now. So one of the things that I do every school year is at the end of the school year, I give my students a end of year survey evaluating myself. And I've basically have gone 2 months not looking at those results. Kind of, again, me ignoring the fact that I feel personally that I didn't do very well building those relationships and in some cases teaching some of my courses. And I really didn't want to look at those results because at the end of the school year, I was just very hands off, like, 2, 3 weeks away. I'm like, like checked out with the students. Like, I was with the students on the way out the door at the end of the school year. So that's kind of what I'll be doing today is I'm going to be looking at those results. And so, yeah, we're going to come over here and we're going to jump onto my computer. I'm going to make that happen. All right. So I'm going to be doing a little bit different here. I'm actually going to be streaming this at the same time that I'm recording this. I've had some people tell me I need to get back into streaming. So if you want to, you could follow me at twitch.tv/Mr. H Teaches. All right, so let's look at these responses. Do you trust Mr. Hernandez? Some of them did. 12 of them, wow, just were like, yes, I really trust him. And that makes me feel good. But this survey is not about making me feel good because what I look at are these students that these 4 students here that are less than a 3 that just absolutely just don't trust me. They don't feel like they can share something with me. That's something about what I'm doing, about how I'm coming across to them. So obviously you're not going to connect with every single one of your students. And that's okay. Like if it's not me, maybe they trust another adult in the building. What I want to make sure of these 4 students, is there somebody else in the school that you trust? A counselor, another teacher, a principal, something like that. Do I treat all students fairly? Wow, that's huge. High 4s and 5s there, and I try to do that completely. And so that makes me feel good that nobody felt like I'm just completely unfair, like just absolutely outright unfair. So even if they disliked me enough to feel like they or not, trust is different than likeness, okay? So if they said like they absolutely don't trust me, fine, but they felt that I was fair across all circumstances. So that makes me feel like I'm doing that's one of the things I feel like I is a strength of mine as a teacher. Yeah, this is something where I knew that I would fail. Does Mr. Hernandez have a positive relationship with my family or parents? Yeah, absolutely. I need to do better, and I have some strategies I'm going to keep in mind for this coming year. And I'm just looking at numbers. I'm not making any assumptions here. How positive are your relationships with other students in the class? Very low. And that's what I struggled with last school year. Like I was always like COVID, policies changing, and like social distancing, and I never made an opportunity for students to really connect with others and build friendships. Who gets to be the ones who do the talking? Some feel like it's mostly just me, and I know I talk a lot. Hence the videos where I just get to go on my soapbox. And then just kind of just straight down the middle in this one. I know my progress in this class. Students generally feel like they know how they're doing. Okay. Um, Students generally feel okay. So these three students down here at a two, they just didn't feel like they um, were comfortable asking questions about any of our content. So um, I need to do better about that. Sometimes the way I answer students can be very short and frustrating. And again, that was something I needed to reel in a lot last year. Let's keep going. How comfortable are you asking Mr. Hernandez questions about what you were learning in this class? It's just kind of like a all over the place. So some students were comfortable, some students were not comfortable. And this was about other classes. Okay. Does Mr. Hernandez show you to work better? Generally speaking, 11, 8, 4 students felt like of the 25 responses that I had here, they felt that for the most part, because of fours, you just like generally agree, um, that I gave quality feedback about how to make their stuff better. So I like that response. Students, three, fours, and fives were even, and four students coming in with a two on this about really doing challenging work. I tried to challenge my students a lot, and I need to do better about forcing students, strongly encouraging students to actually complete more difficult challenges. Because, like it says here, I believe that they can do it. I treat other students in class with respect. So good classroom culture here. Everyone is like, I never had anybody arguing or feeling like they were. I never felt that students were really pushing others out. So generally speaking, I do want to kind of move this more up into the fours and five range, but this is a solid spot to be considering how I didn't feel like it was a great year. Treated the teachers in the class with respect. Students very much felt that they treated me with respect, along with other teachers that were in the classroom, and I agree with this. I felt that my students were very respectful, um, more responsible after taking this class. Some this was just wow. That's pretty much a bell curve that some didn't change, but 10 students felt like they did change. For the positive, whereas 5 students felt like they got less responsible. That hurts. I am satisfied with the work I put in this quarter or this school year. Generally dissatisfied. So I need to give students more opportunities. And this is I think about classes that I'm just like, yeah, it did not go well. And yeah, here we go. And then cheating on the assignments. So we don't want to have one means I never cheated, whereas 5 means I cheated a lot, so a lot of cheating still happening in the classroom. Simplifying some of these tasks if they're having difficulty, yeah, I could see how I could do that a lot better. So I really like when people are giving me feedback like this, something I can actually like do something with because like this statement right here, making the work more simple for people who are struggling. I realize now reading this that when we're coding, some people may not be like I spend a lot of time just sitting down next to students and doing stuff, giving them those scaffolding like step by step by step by step, like let's see what this does, let's see what this does, like okay, what do we need to happen? Situating that would be a lot smarter to take care of. Yeah, using the grade tabs on the website, that's fine because I would just say go to Frontline because our new grading system is really good about giving me updated grades. So I don't have to go and post it every once in a like all the time where students like could see it because our last system students could not stay on top of their grades. People really like the drones. That's a hit. Unity. I had a few students doing Unity as a kind of a test launch for what I'll be doing this year, so that's good. So I have made a lot of changes to my classes based off of feedback with administrators and students. And I'm really looking forward to implementing those changes as well as building deeper relationships with my students in this coming year. Because, like I said, I felt like I needed to do better to feel better about going into work every day. And I'm really looking forward to this school year. So, if there's something here that maybe you want to say to a teacher about, all right, what are the things that you want to see or hear from a teacher to make you feel included, make you feel respected in class, um, please just let me know. And if it's specific towards me, you can let me know that. Or if it's just generally speaking about teachers, what you'd like to see in teachers or what you don't like to see in teachers, let me know that too. You could put that in the comments in this video. But thank y'all. I meant to record this video yesterday, but as long as I'm recording, this is going to be a good time. So thank y'all for joining me. Hopefully, it's just not too ranty. I'll probably cut it down a little bit. But if this is your first time here, I'm Mr. Hernandez, and this was Mr. Hernandez Teaches.